A key focus on the issue dominating the thoughts of Australian political leaders, both state and federal right now, that being the energy price shock. What will the federal government land on later this week? Our political editor Andrew Clennell has been exploring all of the detail on this. Andrew, a meeting on Wednesday where we will be watching closely as the leaders grapple with what's really quite a diabolical issue right now.
It seems that way, Kieran. The country's leaders will enter Wednesday's National Cabinet meeting with an apparent stalemate between the federal government and state governments over a call by the feds for the states to cap coal prices. It was in late October that the federal budget papers predicted that power prices were set to rise 56% and gas prices 40%. Since then, the PM and Treasurer Jim Chalmers have repeatedly promised they would act to prevent this happening. As things stand today, this pledge is in danger of mirroring Mr Albanese and Mr Chalmers' pre-election promise that by 2025, thanks to renewable energy, power prices would reduce by $275 a year. Last week, the PM promised that whatever the government did on this front, and he has promised a solution by Christmas, it would substantially reduce power and gas prices.
The response that you're looking at, do you have an expectation it can make a dent on the budget predictions of a 50% increase in power bills and 40% on gas?
We have said that our time frame is before Christmas, and that remains our time frame. And the objective here is to, yes, make a difference compared with the projections that were made at budget time.
Well, the problem with raising expectations is you're expected to meet them. Federal government sources have told me that with every course of action the government looks to take on this energy prices front, it finds more and more unintended consequences or issues. Yesterday on Sunday Agenda, the New South Wales Energy Minister Matt Keane said he did not even know what the coal price cap the federal government wanted, but said they wanted the states to implement the cap. He basically accused the government of consulting the Australian Workers Union, but not state governments. And Mr Keane said it might even be too late now to move to affect electricity bills.
They've been consulting with themselves and unions for the past 2 months, and I'm worried that all they're coming up with is an excuse. They're concerned that they don't have the powers to be able to cap coal prices. Our legal advice says that they do have the powers to cap coal prices if they want to go down that path, and we would obviously support them. In New South Wales and Queensland, black coal sets the wholesale electricity price more than 50% of the time. So if you're only capping gas prices, you're not doing the job. You're going to still see massive price spikes. Claire Savage raised real concerns about those price caps not working if it was done after the 1st of December. I have to say I share those concerns.
Well, the Queensland Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk today reinforced her opposition to a coal price cap that she said would adversely affect her state.
As I said very clearly, we've set down our parameters, and that is Queenslanders own our assets. Some of those profits are going back to Queenslanders in terms of direct assistance for our households to the tune in the last quarter of $175.
All of this points to perhaps a gas price cap announcement this Wednesday out of National Cabinet, which would be the establishment of a mandatory code of conduct which would cap the gas price and require that the price at which the domestic market is supplied be $12 a gigajoule. But the coal price situation looks like it will not be resolved. And coal prices, as you heard Matt Keane say there, in New South Wales and Queensland at least, are responsible for 50% of power bills. There are also fears of consequences, though, from intervening in the gas market. How do you encourage investment in opening up supply if you are capping the gas price? And surely opening up more supply is part of the long-term solution. These fears were expressed by the opposition and resources groups on Afternoon Agenda last Thursday.
When you interfere with the market and you put price caps on, you get in all sorts of trouble.
It's a very complicated market. To some extent, the last thing we need is more fiddling from politicians in this market.
It will actually reduce future supply, threaten future energy security, and lead to higher prices in the long term.
Well, at least, Kieran, there's some good news out of that large coal price. It's got the economist Chris Richardson to say that for this calendar year, as opposed to the financial year, the federal budget will be balanced before a smaller than expected deficit is delivered in the May budget.